NFL draft is tonight. You know, it's funny. Last year was a big ratings, big draft, bunch of quarterbacks. And, you know, fans will often complain, how come you only talk about the stars? Because this draft has no stars in it, and it'll get a much lower rating tonight. Why? Because it's got a bunch of grinders and a bunch of interior linemen. Fans want to talk about LeBron, Brady, Durant. We know, we measure the numbers and the metrics, and we see it. Tonight's ratings will probably not be great for the draft. There's no buzz around it because there's no flashy stars. There's no Baker, Johnny Manziel, Sam Darnold. It's a bunch of grinders outside of Kyler Murray. But for me, if you love football, this is what the draft is all about. Let me make my 5 predictions for the NFL draft tonight. Number 1, I think New England will trade up multiple times tonight, meaning at least twice. Why? They've got 12 picks. Belichick, in recent drafts, is looking for specific pieces, and he'll do whatever it takes to get those specific pieces. They had 3 draft picks last year that would have started but got hurt. People are forgetting about those. Left tackle, running back, and corner. They just don't have many spots available. What they need is 4 impact players to get a little more athletic on both sides of the football. I think they need a tight end, and they'd move up. I think they could use a corner and they'd move up, a pass rusher, an interior lineman. Of course, they're always seeking value. They may not move up in the first round, but I think New England will move up multiple times over today, tomorrow, and the weekend. Number 2, the Redskins will butcher something. Listen, Daniel Snyder, according to reports, is now taking over the first round. Oh, good Lord. They can't get the quarterback right. I have a hard time respecting organizations if you can't figure out the quarterback. You can't get, they overpaid for a guy I like, Alex Smith, and then they overpaid for Case Keenum, and then they drafted RG3, and they've passed on multiple quarterbacks that are better than all 3 of those guys. This is an organization that is now, to me, on equal footing, dysfunction-wise, with Cleveland. Hopefully Cleveland's moving in the right direction, but Washington will butcher something and reach for something in the next 3 days. Third thing, we are going to love what the Green Bay Packers do today and tomorrow. Here's why. Because the Packers in the last 2 years have loaded up in the first 3 rounds on defensive players. 7 of their 8 first picks in the last 2 drafts have been defensive players, and that was really smart. And they also loaded up this year in free agency, safety, 2 linebackers. So what does that mean? That means they're going to go offense with 1 or both of their first-round picks this year. Green Bay is going to do some offensive stuff, and everything on paper looks good with Aaron Rodgers. So if they draft a receiver, they draft a tight end like Noah Fant at Iowa, we're all going to go crazy. So mark my words, tomorrow we're going to love their pick. Over the weekend, we're going to love what Green Bay is doing because it looks like they're going to lean offense and getting Aaron Rodgers some nice young toys, and that just looks great on paper. Number 4, somebody's going to reach for Daniel Jones. I'm not saying he's not draftable, mid-second round, but what I find remarkable, that the quarterback with the weakest arm of the top 6, we're nitpicking Kyler Murray. We nitpicked Josh Rosen. We nitpicked Sam Darnold. We nitpicked Lamar Jackson. We nitpicked Dwayne Haskins. Isn't anybody just saying, he didn't have a very good arm? You don't even need to nitpick. 54% completion rate last 2 years with a great coach in the ACC. I'm not saying he doesn't have value. I could see New England taking him in the second round and saying, we're going to sit on him for 2 years. I get it. They do that a lot. I could see an organization sitting on him for 2 years, but I have a feeling somebody's going to reach for him. We're nitpicking all these quarterbacks except Daniel Jones, who I think in the last 2 years, weaker arm than everybody. Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Dwayne Haskins, Kyler Murray. It's got the weakest arm of all those guys. And number 5, the Raiders, and this has been their goal, are going to get talked about a lot tonight. As I've predicted and told you, they're not selling tickets in Oakland. It's a lame duck year, and the Golden Knights hockey team has gobbled up a lot of the season ticket buyers. That's a lot of money in Vegas. They're trying to sell tickets. And you can absolutely, we've seen this in the NBA, we've seen it in the NFL. If you have a big opening draft night, you can sell season tickets. You can sell 6,000 season tickets. You draft Zion, you're going to sell 7,000 in Orlando or somewhere. So there are, I think the Raiders they want to win tonight. They want to get talked about tonight. They got tickets to sell. This has always been a lower revenue team in the last decade. They don't do very well on game day revenue at all. It's like half of the Giants, half of the Eagles, half of the Steelers, half of the Patriots. They're not a good game day revenue team. They tarp off the upper deck. They got tickets to sell. So they want to make a huge, massive splash tonight, and I think they will. There'll be rumors, stuff being leaked. They'll get talked about all night long. Those are my 5 draft predictions. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.